Let me teach you about humility. You see, I like working with kids because they have their whole future ahead of them. They don't judge you and they love unconditionally. And to me, that's just so beautiful. You see, I once walked from the downtown Vimy Memorial of Saskatoon towards the 20th Street core and back and forth all day with a painted clown face, beating on a snare drum to no particular beat at all, trying to raise some money just so some little kids could eat. And at one point, I wish someone had done that for me. You see, humility is an important lesson that I learned right from the very start. I was diagnosed dyslexic. Everything I had tried to read and write was backwards. Once I remember reading my Dear Santa letter, and I think it sounded something like this. Dear Satan, all I want for Christmas is a real evil God. Because a real live dog probably would have made my childhood days so much better. You see, people always looked at me funny. I guess that's why I kept my head down and I focused on my artwork. I missed out on a lot of social interactions during my elementary years, like lunchtime, recess, or after school. See, I was a special education student. I wrote everything 3 times in a row before I could get it. I wrote everything 3 times in a row before I could get it. I wrote everything 3 times in a row before I could get it. You see, I was so poor. Unfortunately, I remember doing a B&E when I was about 6 years old. I took the food while my friends were focused on taking everything else. I was doing my best just to try and feed myself. I guess you could say I was my own Robin Hood. I went to a small high school over here by the river of Saskatoon so I could get the attention that I deserved. I played intramural basketball at lunchtime to take me off those lonely stairwells or the library. I wore hand-me-down clothing until I knew I could work for myself. Then I became the master of my own destiny. Unfortunately, I couldn't dictate who stayed alive and who stayed next to me. In most days, I wish I had a mom who was at home missing me. You see, once I got to university, I worked 2 jobs. One was working in construction, and the other one was working as a student research assistant in a molecular genetics laboratory, until one day poetry found me. Now you see, I'm surrounded by many friends and I continue to make new friends every other day. Now I'm the artistic director of the Indigenous Poets Society. And I've been celebrated for my words more times than I could keep track of. And I think I might continue to do so because I've always done what I've wanted, regardless of what people think of me. This is my humility.